Ah, the winter season. The only season where I don't get judged, staying indoors all day and watching anime. The big 26 is here, and this year of anime is extremely hyped up. There are a ton of shows that have so much hype around it that it could be possibly better than last year. Winter 2026 does not disappoint. Anime might have blown their load early because winter is stacked. There's so many good shows here, but a lot of them are being overshadowed. So let's talk about them. The timestamps will be in the description, and let's get into the first anime. First is Frieren Beyond Journey's End Season 2. Who isn't excited for this one? Frieren had become one of my favorite animes of all time, so like everyone, I had high expectations. It does live up to it, and it continues to be just masterful. The vibes have continued to be great. We do get more lore with the regions they are traveling through, and we get to see side characters and what they've been up to. Frieren is amazing. The only downside with Season 2 is that it's only 10 episodes, and it can't compare to Season 1. Season 1 had 28 episodes to tell multiple stories and arcs that Season 2 doesn't have the chance to do. I'm sure they did this for a reason, and I shouldn't question it, because so far it's only been heat. I'm excited to see how it ends, and I already want Season 3.
死滅回遊は永続を歌っている。
それは俺もよくわかってない。
Finding best.
How the fuck you want me to listen to all this and read this shit, bro?
Listen to me! Listen or we're gonna die!
Next is Jujutsu Kaisen, the Culling game, part 1. We finally have the next season of JJK, and it's continued to be great. I know there's a lot of smack talking about JJK's overrated, but I think it's perfectly rated. What it does best in is really top tier, with the animation and fighting scenes. And what they lack in is the explanation. It's a common complaint that they don't explain well, and even the author himself says he's not the best at explaining things. Both can be true, but I'm still a fan of the series. The start of the season was a banger. The absolute crazy fight scenes, the memeable moments, and of course, Maki's annihilation. Such a fantastic scene. The sequences were crazy, and I love the Kill Bill homage. I do love Tarantino. At this point, you're watching JJK or not, it's just one of those animes where you had to be there live when it's coming out weekly and enjoy it with the other people watching at the same time. Because if you're late, it's getting spoiled right away. I still don't completely understand the rules of the Culling game, but for now, I'm just enjoying the ride.
こいつ強い。
大切な仲間とは言ったけど全然しっくりきませんね。私とあなたはそんなぬるい関係じゃない。こそばゆい気遣いはなしにしましょう。
Next is Hell's Paradise Season 2. I feel like Hell's Paradise is being overshadowed this season. I do like Season 2 more than Season 1 because we get a deeper understanding of the world, the powers, and the characters are growing. The mystique of the island has been a bit uncovered. The viewers and characters aren't as surprised of what they're seeing on this island because they've been through it. The designs continue to be great of the island, the characters, and these monsters that they're facing. It's extremely creative, and we get to see these monsters flex their power. Our main characters are learning, and they have to come up with plans and strategies on how to beat these monsters and ultimately survive. We see new characters introduced, and they had to go through the same trial and tribulations of learning what this island is about. I really like the different perspectives we get to see because eventually they're all gonna clash and come together. It's not a huge improvement from Season 1 because Season 1 was great in itself. It just got better because it's able to continue the storytelling, and we see the payoff Season 1 was setting up for. The fight scenes continue to be great, the gore and violence are hard-hitting, and the moments during the fights are pretty tense because they had to figure out how are they gonna win, and sometimes it seems impossible. I'm really enjoying it, and I do hope it gets more viewers because it's been a bit overshadowed by Frieren and JJK.
私はまだ一回も撫でてもらっていません。
そうか。
Next is Sentenced to be a Hero. Here's another anime being overshadowed. For the plot of this one, hero is the worst punishment in this world. Those convicted of heinous crimes are sentenced to become a hero and forced to enter the military service in the war against the demon lords. These convicts are not even allowed to die. If they are killed, they will be resurrected to fight another day. This anime had some hype coming into it, and it had a strong start. The first episode was a double episode to really set up the world, the characters, and the politics of the world. I really like this anime. The action scenes are well done, the characters have unique powers, and they use it in interesting ways. All the characters have personality and their own uniqueness. I really like the main character Xylo because he's convicted of a crime he didn't commit, and we see the toll it has on him, especially when he takes in the goddess. I really like the relationship between them, and come on, she just wants some head pats. We've seen these types of plot many times before, and a lot of them are just mid to below average. But Sentenced to be a Hero is able to make it its own. It's pretty unique on how they use those tropes to make a compelling story and characters. I'm really enjoying it. In every episode, we continue to get a bit more about the world, the missions, and new characters to be introduced. It's been an enjoyable watch, and I hope we get more in the future.
もしかして僕の顔がタイプなのかな。この少し影のあるインモラルな顔が。
Next is Oshi No Ko Season 3. We have the return of my favorite twins, and it's finally the Ruby show. For the past 2 seasons, it's been the Aqua show. He's been the main character and the driving force of the entire story, but now it's Ruby's time. She's doing whatever it takes to make it to the top, and she learned from the best, her twin brother Aqua. He low-key created a monster, but I think we all saw this coming. While she's rising to the top, she's also trying to resolve the murder of Ai, while working to become her. I'm really enjoying this season more than season 2, but overall as a series, I really like it. I already read the manga, so you can't spoil me. Other than Ruby though, we do get to see the other characters start making moves in their career, their doubts and insecurities, and their relationship with each other. Kana continues to be second best girl, and she just can't catch a break. The quality, the animation, and the vibrant colors are all still here, and they haven't missed a beat. It's a great mystery. We get to see the development with the investigations from our characters and slowly piece it together. It has me on the edge of my seat, even though I know what's coming. It's a really enjoyable series, and I can't wait for the heartbreaking moments to come.
谷君はこんな時間にコンビニで買い食いなんてします。
鈴木さん
Next is You and I Are Polar Opposites. Here we have the romance anime that doesn't overthink romance. For the plot of this one, next to Miyu, a trendy, bubbly high school girl, sits Yusuke, a quiet, frank boy. The interactions are brief, limited to Miyu's unprompted random questions, and Yusuke's short answers. Beneath those simple exchanges, feelings of love are quietly blossoming. A slight misunderstanding leads to Miyu confessing her love, and to her delight, Yusuke feels the same way. The young couple starts dating and embarking on a wonderful journey of friendship and love. I really like how in anime now, there's a lot of romance animes where the main characters get together early on in the series, and we get to see a continuing relationship. A lot of older romances, the end of the series was when they get together, but there's more than just the journey. And in this one, they get together in the first episode. This anime is great. I'm really enjoy watching it because the relationship is just so pure. It feels realistic of how high schoolers will be in a relationship, with how they talk to each other, their friends' opinions, and misunderstandings get cleared up by them just talking. The point of view is mostly from Miyu's side, which is a nice change because usually we see the point of view from the male main character. The side characters are great too. They really add to the series with the friendships with the main characters, and also we get to see development with themselves and their own relationships. The anime is bright, vibrant, and their faces are hilarious. Every episode, multiple characters are doing crazy faces, and it's so memeable. The romance is great because it's pretty simple. They show their feelings to each other, they talk about them. We see characters get nervous when texting their crush, or insecurities with themselves or how they're communicating. Everyone can relate to in some way. It's a fun romance comedy that is just a fun watch.
これは能力ではなく。
ちょっと元気が戻った。
Next is Chain Soldier Season 2. We have the return of the Gunner anime. Season 2 definitely got a budget increase because the monsters and the fight scenes look so much better than Season 1. Maybe it was successful enough to get a bigger budget. I know the manga does pretty well, and you know what to expect with this anime. It's a fantasy action anime with a harem that has a lot of ecchi moments and a little bit of actual romance. With Season 2, the plot is getting thicker of our characters uncovering who are sending all these monsters and what does the enemy want. We get introduced to the other troops, and of course the designs are great too. Throughout the anime, you'll be saying,
It should have been me, not him!
and my god, some of these moms, I might have to add to my favorites.
That's your mom? She's hot.
If you like Season 1, you'll definitely like Season 2 more because it's an improvement on every aspect of the show, and I don't really pay attention to it much until there's moments that has my attention. Tenka, you're still my waifu, but I got some wandering eyes here. Next is playing death games to put food on the table. With a title like that, this anime can't be serious. For the plot of this one, Yuki wakes up to find herself in an unfamiliar manner wearing a maid uniform and lying on a luxurious bed. Soon she discovers 5 more girls all dressed the same way as her. This is the ghost house, and the only way to survive is to make it through the traps that lie in wait, deadly games full of blowguns, buzzsaws, locked rooms, and weapons. It's a hopeless, terrifying situation for everyone there, except Yuki. After all, she's played these games before. I didn't know what to expect coming into this anime. The first episode was a double, and it really worked nicely of setting up this entire series. I thought this anime would be a little more goofy based on the title of how she's playing death games just to make ends meet, and won't be as serious, but it's really the exact opposite. This anime is pretty serious. There's a lot of dark tones, and the level of creepiness is very apparent in the world. This anime is a mixture of Squid Game and the movie Saw. The narrator and Yuki is constantly telling us there are people watching, so there's some entertainment factor to it, and the games they play, some of these traps are straight from Saw, while others are a mixture of regular games that turn deadly. We see many death game animes before, and a lot of them are kind of bad, but this one is done really well. It's suspenseful, it's slowly revealing our characters' motives, the plot, the mystery of the world, and Yuki. Yuki is the anomaly. In the first game we see, she is an experienced player, but in other arcs we see her in her third or fourth game, and it shows the audience what she learned from these games and from other characters to make her into the experienced player she is. This world is messed up. During these games, when these girls take damage, there are some materials that turn their blood into cotton, which in my opinion makes it more creepier because they're treated like dolls and not human beings. It's somebody's fantasy game that they're creating, and these girls are just the dolls in the story. There are a lot of random shots here of the setting, and even long shots of characters just doing mundane tasks like eating, but it has a creepy undertone, and it feels like it takes inspiration from Monogatari with some of the shots they're taking. The art style does change a lot into like those minimalist wallpapers that were really popular at one point for characters. Maybe it was an artistic choice or just a way to save some money on some of these scenes. I didn't expect to enjoy this anime as much as I did because there's so many layers to it, and these games are deadly. The characters know what they're getting themselves into, but when they're put in a situation where it's life or death, some of them fold, some of them excel, and some of them are just here for the chaos. I'm excited to see where it goes, and I really hope there's no cliffhanger for the end of the season. This was a gem of an anime, and I recommend giving it a watch.
しかし、どうして俺をこんなに睨んでくるんだ？
まだ14歳の私の可愛い妹を引っ掛けるとは、いい度胸だな。
ああ、そういうこと。
Next is Jack of all trades, party of none. For the plot of this one, Orn, once a skilled swordsman, has adapted his role to enchanter to fill a crucial gap in the hero party. However, one day the party leader abruptly dismisses him, claiming his skills are lacking, branded a weakling, and Jack of all trades, master of none by his former comrades. Determined to start anew, he returns to adventuring, this time as a swordsman, the role he originally excelled in. But his time as enchanter was far from wasted. The experience, knowledge, and countless original spells he developed in the hero party have forged him into a warrior unlike any other. This anime is like its title, just okay. When I think of the term Jack of all trades, I think of someone being good at many various things, but in here, Orn is just good at 2 or 3 things. But it being unconventional and the world hasn't seen before, he's able to get strong and win his battles because his skills are so unique. The way he uses it makes him a jack of trades. There's nothing too special with it. We always see this type of fantasy anime, a main character get kicked from a group, but it turns out they were actually really important to the group. I do think it's better than the ones we get every seasonal anime, but just slightly. You know what to expect for it from the first 2 episodes, and you know if you like this type of anime.
ごめん、うるさかった？
ジャスティン・ビーバー歌って。は？歌えないし。歌ってよ。
Next is Journal with Witch. This is the sleeper of winter 2026. For the plot of this one, 35-year-old novelist, Makio never had a good relationship with her older sister, who always berated her for being different. Makio is not stricken with grief upon hearing the news that her and her husband died in a car crash. But when asked to identify the bodies, she runs into her 15-year-old niece, Asa, who she hasn't seen in years. As Asa struggles to process her parents' death, Makio reassures her that her complicated feelings are valid and suggests that the teenager start writing in a diary as a way to cope with the loss. Hearing no other relatives wanted to take Asa in, Makio decides to become her guardian, despite her lack of experience. I didn't expect to like this anime so much. I knew nothing about it going in, and when I do these videos talking about anime, I don't watch trailers or read the description beforehand. I didn't know what to expect with this one, but wow, this one is really good. It hits you in the feelings with the situation the characters are going through, and we just see how they adjust to their life after a tragedy. Asa's a teenager who just lost both her parents. It doesn't know how to feel after that. Makio doesn't know how to raise a kid. We see their pain, their confused feelings, and their relationship with each other because they're kind of strangers. But throughout the series, they're slowly getting along better, and it's just a bit heartwarming. Grief can take over someone's life and really put them in a bad situation. There's no cure-all for it, so you have to take steps to slowly get past it, and it's very difficult. I think this anime does well in showing that and conveying those feelings in these characters. There's no spectacles in here. It's just a mature show that's touching and sensitive that fits in the drama genre. Experience is what these characters are going through, and it's something that everyone will have. This is a great show, such a hidden gem, and I highly recommend giving it a watch.
おい、何ちんたらやってんだよ、ノロマ。
撮影帰りで疲れてんのにわざわざ出向いてやったんだぞ。分かってんのか。
ごめんなさい。優しいオリ君、ごめんなさい。
1分でやれ。
は？
Next is Tamon's B-side. Here we have the male idols anime. For the plot of this one, the idol group Face has recently risen in popularity, all thanks to Tamon, its handsome, wild, and talented leader. 17-year-old Kinoshita is his fan and greatly admires Face. Her life revolves around worshipping him. She works at a house cleaning company to earn some money to support him, but when a coworker gets sick, she is assigned to a new client, which is Tamon. To her surprise, she discovers, unlike the extroverted superstar known to the public, Tamon is actually a gloomy guy with no friends or self-confidence. She vows to keep it a secret and stay by his side and help him with these contrasting behaviors in and out of work. This is the anime when the stan finds out the true personality of the person they worship. This anime is not bad. I'm not the biggest fan of idol animes, but how they do it is that we get to see the behind the scenes of the idol group. In the public, they're these sweet connecting guys, but once the cameras are off and the performance is done, their true personality shows. Some of them are real jerks. There is the saying of never meet your heroes, and this anime is the epitome of that. Tamon is an introvert that can only perform when he's out. So when he has to film videos at home, giving the fans what they want, he struggles to do that. It has some nice comedic bits, and the relationship between the characters are the driving force of the series. Kinoshita has the inner monologue of being a super fan, and she feels a bit guilty because she has all the time with her mans. She keeps it relatively professional. When she's working, she's helping him, but when she sees a concert or goes to a meet and greet, she's a fan then. The animation is good, the singing's alright, and if you're into idol animes, this is a different take on the idol anime, but it's still pretty good.
君に一目惚れしました。俺と付き合ってください。もうダメだ。死のう。
Next is, there was a cute girl in the hero's party, so I tried confessing to her. For the plot of this one, Yuki died in a traffic accident and was reborn into a fantasy world. However, instead of being a hero of legends, he ended up reincarnating into an overpowered demon. Having no desire to become the demon lord, he sits around in the demon lord's castle as a random low-rank guardian. One day the hero party comes and attack, and on a whim he knocks out the entire hero party, healing up the hero party, and then preparing to send them back into town. He notices the female priest and instantly falls in love. So we have a Isekai Reincarnation anime, where our main character, he throws away his life as a demon and forms a party with the girl he confessed to. This anime is average across the board. It has the same plot and tropes of the others of the same genre, but the gimmick here is that the demon lord gets defeated and he disguises himself as a human. She knows the truth and doesn't accept his love confession, but you know, they're just taking it slow. So eventually something's gonna blossom. It's mid across the board. You know if you like this one. It's not terrible, but it's definitely not as good as the other ones we get every seasonal anime. It's just a typical Isekai Reincarnation trash.
あんためちゃくちゃ美しいな。あれ、男？
Next is In the Clear Moonlit Dusk. For the plot of this one, Yoi is dubbed the Prince by her female classmates because of her boyish, attractive appearance and casual disposition. She chooses to be indifferent towards the attention and spends her days normally. The other school Prince Kohaku waltzes in her life and calls her beautiful. A simple compliment flusters Yoi as he is the first boy to acknowledge her as a girl. Her attempts to distance herself prove futile as he seems to have set her sights on her. Here we have a romance anime where the female character looks like a boy. This anime is a good romance anime. I was expecting the main characters to really fight off their feelings for each other, but after a couple episodes, they make a deal to casually date each other to see where their feelings go and if a true romance will blossom. We get to see that slow development as they start to express feelings with each other. There is some comedic bits with them being together. The female side characters be wilding, thinking this is one attractive couple of boys. It does play into that a little bit. The animation looks nice. It's a fine romance anime, and if you're into that genre, you'll probably like this one.
山吹アリス、山吹財閥の御曹司、日本を背負う存在、故に完璧を約束された男。好きな食べ物は桃。この山吹、ふつつか者ではありませんが、これからどうぞよろしく。
Next is Tune Into the Midnight Heart. For the plot of this one, Arisu was all alone in bed at night, but he was able to find solace in the voice radio host who went by Apollo. However, one day she simply stopped broadcasting without any explanation. Years have passed, and now in his second year of high school, he makes his mission to search for Apollo, as there's something he wants to tell her. He doesn't know what she looks like, or even her real name, but he manages to find some leads, and it leads to his school broadcasting club. That's where he meets 4 girls who all dream to get a job with making uses of their voice. But just who is Apollo? Here we have another romance comedy corny harem anime, and it's not bad, but I wasn't feeling it. I dropped it after one episode because the main character, he's a bit cringe. In the first episode, he makes an announcement to the class that he's a main character and all the girls can confess their love to him. It's cringe, it puts all the boys at a disadvantage because their school has become a co-ed school. The way he finds out where potentially Apollo is a bit creepy because if someone were to do that in real life, they might be labeled a stalker. All the girls have the quality of Apollo and he has to figure out which one is it. Because of course there's only could be one. There is a world though where all four of them are Apollo and they just had a shared account. It's definitely better than the average harem romance school animes we get, but I didn't really care for it. I do want to see the result of who Apollo is, but knowing this type of anime, they won't reveal it unless they get like 4 seasons. If they do though, let me know in the comments. Next is Noble Reincarnation. Born blessed, so I obtain ultimate power. Here we have the classic reincarnation fantasy anime. For the plot of this one, Noah, the world's strongest 6-year-old, holds a fortunate position of being the 13th prince of the emperor. Born with an infinite level cap and a cheat skill that allows him to add abilities of those he commands to his own. He is unmatched. Noah thrives in an environment enriched with exceptional education and abundant resources, allowing his talents to blossom. However, behind the glamorous facade, an aristocratic society looks a world of conspiracy and power struggles. We get this type of anime every seasonal anime, and the genre will truly never die. This anime does focus more on the noble and political aspect of it. The politics of the world affects him and his family, and he has to navigate through that to survive. It's very average across the board. You're not missing much if you skip it, and I usually like these type of anime where it's more political focused, but I didn't really want to waste my time. It's overpowered reincarnation, fantasy slop that will be forgettable, but I'm sure there's some enjoyable moments in it.
でもちょっと匂いが多すぎない？本当に作りがいがあって。ほら、これは何かな？クノン様にわかるかな？
Next is Kunon, the Sorcerer Can't See. Here we have the fantasy overpowered anime, where the stick is, the main character is blind. For the plot of this one, Kunon aims to be the first person to use water magic to create new eyes for himself. After 5 months of study, he has already surpassed his teacher and continues to grow his talents. Not only can his magic help him sense color, but he can also use it to make handy items and even conjure a whole cat. Another average fantasy anime that falls into the same realm of the Isekai, Reincarnation, fantasy anime, but the main character lives in this world, and he's blind. I watched 2 episodes and dropped it. I still don't understand how water magic will be able to create new eyes, but that is the plot, so I doubt he'll get his eyes soon. It's average across the board, you know what to expect. I like his maid, and she's the second main character, but other than that, there's nothing too special about this anime, but it does have more depth about their magic in their world, but I wasn't really interested.
年が近ければ私が婚約者として名乗りを上げているところだ。褒められてる。超嬉しい。あとは双方の意思だな。
It should have been me, not him!
Next is Easygoing Territory Defense by the Optimistic Lord. Production magic turns a nameless village into the strongest fortified city. That title is pretty short compared to the usual light novel titles. For the plot of this one, Van, the 4th son of a powerful noble, is only 2 years old when he remembers his past life as a salaryman in Japan. His adult brain and a young body, he's considered a child prodigy until he displays production magic. In a family that favors offensive magic, this crafting skill is considered useless in battle. Van is banished to oversee a tiny country in disgrace with only his personal maid, the memories of his past life, and his worthless magic. Can he improve the fortunes of his little village and himself? I think we know the answer to that, and of course he does. Here we have another fantasy reincarnation anime where it focuses on the main character building up a no-name village to make a name for himself. We've seen this many times before, and I like this type of genre. I like how characters building nothing to something and make use of their useless skill. His production magic is useless in this world because the people in this world, they can't produce much with the ability. But with his training and outside thinking, he's able to make it useful. In fact, it's overpowered. The village is coming along, the side characters are wacky, there's some nice comedic bits, and I think I found a new waifu. It's a fine anime, there's definitely better versions of it out there, but I found it enjoyable. It's nothing too special, and it's very average, but I'm just a fan of the plot in general.
奥が深い。実にやり込みがいがある。はあ、でも魔獣と戦うには程遠いんだよな。
Next is Helmo. The hardcore gamer dominates in another world with garbage balancing. Here we have the anime where a Dark Souls fan gets isekai. For the plot of this one, the online game Yamada has been playing religiously is shutting down its servers. leaving a void in his heart. He looks for a new game to fill, and everything's just too easy. He likes the kind of games that's punishing enough to make players want to spend thousands of hours on it. He gets an invite to a game that will never end. It's untitled, but promises incomparable challenge with unprecedented potential. Without hesitation, he selects Hell Mode difficulty, and he finds himself reincarnated into another world. Now called Alan, he sets to unlock the secrets of his mystery-laden Summoner's class. Without the convenience of walkthroughs, game guides, or online forums, he must grope his way to the top of this new world. What? It really says grope in the description. I'm not making this up. From the episodes I watched in this anime, I didn't see him doing no groping. This anime was getting slightly above average reviews, so I gave it a shot, and I wasn't the biggest fan of it. The designs of the characters in the world are really nice and colorful. It's very unique because of his powers. He's able to summon different critters to help him level up. He is nerfed in this world, so he has to grind 8 times harder than the other people. It's a fine reincarnation isekai anime. I didn't find anything too special with it. I do like the plot of he has to train harder and smarter than other people because of the difficulty he's on, and he does a lot exploring with his summoners class, slowly learning more about it and figuring out ways to break it even. I wasn't feeling it that much. It's not bad, but there wasn't enough for me to watch it every week.
ニールとパメラ。
Fucking bitch, I'm gonna kill her.
Next is the Holy Grail of Eris. For the plot of this one, it's common knowledge nobles will do anything for power. Lying, manipulation, extortion are the usual tactics. However, one family is exempt from that generalization, House Grail, whose main tenets are truth and integrity. The youngest daughter, Constance, is just as moral as the rest of the family. However, these ideals don't help when her fiance cheats on her with another woman. Framed by his lover in hope of her downfall, Constance has no one to hear her pleas for justice. Everyone turns a blind eye, except for one, the spirit of the infamous Scarlet, who possesses Constance and turn the tables on her accuser. However, this aid does not come without a price. Here we have a villain in this anime, with the spirit possessing our main character. Constance is the face, while Scarlet is the heel, and together, they're one powerful team. They balance their dynamics while trying to solve who set up Scarlet. It's a fine anime. I really like the designs of the characters, especially Scarlet. The mystery is not bad, and the supernatural aspect is pretty basic. I watched a couple episodes, and then I dropped it. It does have a bit more violence to it, but nothing crazy. There are some good moments, and it's not a bad anime, but I decided to drop it.
いえ、そういうわけでは。
デートに着ていく服とかだろ、バカ猫。
デート服です。どう飲めたの？もう。
Next is the Invisible Man and his soon-to-be wife. For the plot of this one, Shizuka, a gentle human woman, works at a detective agency. Akira is smart and a gentle invisible man. The invisible man's ability is perfect for detective work. However, the blind Shizuka can still figure out where he is, even if he disappears. Before they know it, the two become attracted to each other. This couple speedruns into getting engaged with each other. It's a nice romance anime with an adult cast that takes place at work. They like to solve various mysteries, whether it be for someone cheating or a gang ring. There are some other side characters, and we see different creatures like elves, beast folk, and many other ones. It's a very cute romance with some realistic moments that people can relate to. They keep the romance basic. It's a fine anime all around. You can tell that at some moments they care more about the animation and some moments than the others. The designs are nice, and Jirashi's probably the best character here. She's a beast woman, but her comedy is on point. I know what you're thinking. I'm not no furry, and I'm not buying into this furry propaganda. Hold on, I might be convinced. Next is Isekai office workers. The otherworld books depend on the beat counter. But the plot of this one, overworked office employee Sechiro would be fine spending the rest of the days in the same exhausting routine, but an unexpected act of heroism causes him to be sucked into a parallel world. His abductors, residents of the magic-filled Romani Kingdom, promise him a life of comfort as an apology for his accidental summoning. Unfazed, Sechiro demands something that he thinks will suit him better, a job. So he takes over the accounting department to save the kingdom from complete bankruptcy. So here we have an isekai where the main character is accidentally summoned and he gets to do the same job. But that's not the only shtick for this anime. It also got some boy love. Yes, there's some yaoi in it. A romance may start brewing. The dashing captain of the Third Royal Order, from the exchanges to them writing letters to each other. The anime is average. I usually do like this type of isekai where the main character is not just fighting people or is overpowered. He's just doing a job in the background. But I wasn't the biggest fan of this, and not because of the boy love. Just when watching the first episode, nothing really drew me in to continue watching it.
それにしても動物の権利を主張する過激派が爆破テロを起こしてチンパンジーと人の交雑種をヘッドハンティングだってサウスパークにもそんなクレイジーな話はない
Next is the Darwin Incident. For the plot of this one, the Animal Liberation Alliance is an eco-terrorist organization. They rescue a pregnant chimpanzee from an animal testing lab, only for it to give birth to a half-human, half-chimpanzee, a human Z named Charlie. 15 years later, Charlie's human foster parents are ready to send him to a normal high school, where he makes his first friend, a human girl named Lucy. Meanwhile, the ALA stance has become more extreme, and now they drag Charlie into the terrorist plot. I kinda really like this anime. Based on the rating, it falls into the more average anime, but there are some noticeable, loud, negative responses. I do understand why people aren't liking this anime. This anime takes place in America, and it doesn't portray America in the greatest light. But in this anime, a lot of the principles and the opinions of people seemingly are taken from Twitter. The dialogue and the responses is something what people would tweet at when they're in a Twitter war, whether it comes from race, violence, sexism, bigotry, and many more. This anime does have some violent scenes that can be very triggering to people, and it does have a warning in front of the episode. But if you live in America, it's an unfortunate reality. The animation's alright, and some of the characters can be annoying, but I do like Charlie though, the main character. He's just chilling and experiencing this new world, and he has a simple philosophy. Many characters want his opinions and challenges his beliefs, but he doesn't care about any of that. He just wants to live in the moment with his family and make new friends. But it's the constant organization trying to pull him in, and he has to be the voice of reason when he doesn't want to be. And they are using him of a symbol of their revolt. The themes of the show are very obvious, and they lay it on pretty hard. Like in the show, vegans are the bad people. Just because the terrorists are vegan doesn't mean all vegans are. Stuff like that, it's always pounded on you throughout the episode. And like, we get it. A lot of the points that they're making are very surface level, and the negativity around it, I think it's just people sick of hearing it all the time in real life. I do like the villain in the story though. He's a true villain. He convinced his followers to go on this revolt, but he has an ulterior motive. Just like real leaders, only the inside people know the real goal. I think it's a fine anime, and I found it pretty enjoyable.
これは愛子ちゃんが読んでる本なの。これはダメ。ダメだ。あらら、今日も絶好調ね。
Next is Kaya-chan Isn't Scary. But apply this one, Kaya-chan is infamous at kindergarten for being a troublemaker. But Miss Chie, who has been assigned to look after her, soon discovers Kaya's hidden ability. She can see ghosts and spirits, and a lot of the troublemaking she's doing is really just protecting her classmates and the people around her. We've seen similar types to this anime, where our main character sees spirits and scary stuff, and they have to deal with it while others can't see it. I'm really enjoying this anime. Kaya acts her age, even though she sees all these monsters and spirits, she's able to be One Punch Man and destroy them, but sometimes she struggles with it, and she doesn't know how to deal with it because she's a kid. She learns, she fails, but ultimately she just wants to be a kid. I like Miss Chie too, because she takes the time to understand Kaya and not let her reputation precede her. There is a deeper mystery about Kaya's power and where it came from, and there may be people here who want to exterminate it. The ghosts and spirits aren't that scary. There may be one or two in there, but I found it pretty lighthearted and pretty entertaining. When Kaya fights these spirits, she's on go mode and she turns into a different person. But she gotta be careful though, she might get canceled.
Whoa, is that fucking blackface, dude?
No, this isn't blackface. I'm an actual demon.
私がミルキットを闇の中から連れ出してみせる。そして一緒に幸せになろう。幸せが何かわかりません。これから二人で探そうよ。私たちの幸せを。
Next is Roll Over and Die. That's an aggressive title. But the plot of this one, chosen by the Church of God Origin, a young country girl named Flume is enlisted in the hero's party and expected to fight demons. However, her one innate skill reversal has no practical use. The party sage Jean treats her as a burden, eventually selling her off to a slave dealer. In a moment of desperation, Flume discovers her skill actually turns negative energy of cursed weapons into power, which helps her slay the slave owner and escape with another captured girl. Now equipped with the means to fight and survive, she embraces the career of an adventurer and aims to live a happy life with Milk It. Why is the other main character named Milk It? It's even spelled like Milk It. I don't know, they could have chosen a different name. We have the classic plot of our main character getting kicked out of a party, but it turns out their skill is actually useful. They just weren't using it the right way. This anime is average. We see this type of anime a lot, but I don't recall ever watching one with a female main character. I'm probably just not remembering it because there's no way it's only been male characters. But this anime is a bit more darker with some more violent aspects of the fantasy world, but nothing too dark. It's just average across the board from the story, the characters, and the animation. Nothing wrong with that, but I did drop this anime.
Oh.
ダメ、そんなとこ。すごい。
Next is Wash It All Away. Here we have the anime teaching weebs how to do laundry. But the plot of this one, our main character Kinmei runs a laundry service in the seaside resort town of Atami, where she's built a fulfilling life making friends with the locals and visiting hot springs. Although she has no knowledge of her past, her cleaning services safeguard memories imbued in customers' precious items. This is the anime where our main character runs a dry cleaning service, while also teaching the proper way to wash clothes. Sometimes there's anime propaganda to get weebs to really better themselves, whether it's from washing clothes, going to the gym, or just doing normal things that adults should know how to do. I don't know, it seems like they really want weebs to take a shower and get clean when they attend all these events. This is a nice slice of life anime. I really like the animation and the designs of the characters. It's very clean, and some of these characters got me acting up. It's a nice chill anime that honestly you could put it on in the background when you're doing laundry. They do get a little bit into her backstory, but we don't get much because she doesn't remember it, and there has to be a payoff where we find the truth, because it's a bit suspicious of how she's forgotten her past. It's a nice, clean, chill anime that you may learn a thing or two about doing laundry.
ドゥちゃん？ああ、なんであんなにでっかくなっちまったんだ？みんな、怪物だぞ。
Next is the Demon King's daughter is too kind. This anime is very cute. But the plot of this one, the Demon King has a problem. His daughter Dusk loves everyone. He had to halt his invasion of the world to worry about his daughter's behavior. It's not befitting of someone of her kind. She loves making friends, helping others, bringing happiness to all creatures, including the enemies, the humans. However, he congratulates Dusk for her good deeds instead of scolding her. With that hope of his aid, Jahi, who is assigned as Dusk's master, the two try to get rid of her kind-hearted nature, but it's constantly failing. I'm really enjoying this anime. It's a simple concept, with them trying to make a young child evil, but they can never do it. She is too kind and pure-hearted. She knows she needs to be evil to fit the role of the demons, but she just can't do it. Her scariest moments are the cutest. I found this anime above average. Some of the designs are nice, but the art style and animation is pretty average across the board. In about half the episodes, we do get like a musical of Dusk singing her song. Low-key, she got some bars. It's a fun, cute, chill anime that makes you forget in this world, the demons are the bad people. They have slaves, they've taken over land, but I think we can all forgive it because Dusk is the real MVP. I'm surprised I'm enjoying this anime as much as I am, and it's just a nice detoxer for some of the darker animes this season. Next is Medalist Season 2. We had the return of the figure skating anime, and this came out at a perfect time because with the Winter Olympics going when the show was airing, figure skating got a huge popularity boost, specifically in America with Alyssa Liu. With Season 2, we're getting into the more competition aspect of the show, and Nori is trying to make a name for herself. The characters will have their up and downs on the ice and off the ice, and Nori continues to make her crazy movements, and damn, look at her abs. It's better than mine. If you like Season 1, you'll like Season 2, and you know what to expect, but I'm really enjoying this anime.
俺たちはいつもこんな感じだ。仲のいい幼馴染。どんなに恋の予感がしても決して進展することはない。ただの
Next is, you can't be in a rom-com with your childhood friends. Here we have the anime where a childhood heroine has to win, right? Because they all are. For the plot of this one, our main character Iyu, his two childhood friends, Chiyo and Akari, have grown up to be almost too cute, even though they don't seem to think much of it. But he can't help seeing them in a different light. If they ever realize how his feelings have changed, the embarrassment will be overwhelming. What Iyu doesn't know is that Chiyo and Akari might have feelings of their own. It's a slow-burning love triangle where all the heroines are his childhood friends. One's that's frustrating and irresistible. Frustrating is the key word in the synopsis. I did drop this anime, but I did skim through a good amount of it. For half the season, it was only really the two main girls, and then the two other ones got introduced in the back half of it. I feel like I have an idea which girl will be the winner, but come on, we know it's not gonna be the blue-haired girl. The blue-haired girl never wins, or the tan one. It's your average harem romance school anime, where the stick is they're all childhood friends, so that harem trope of them not being the winner will not work in this one, unless there's another twist in here. It's fine, you know what to expect. It is slightly more ecchi, and the art style is very familiar. I highly doubt they'll choose a winner by the end of the season, because they never do in these harem shows. It takes multiple seasons. You know, if you like this type of anime, which I did like this type in my younger anime days, but now it has to be really unique and interesting for me to keep watching. Unfortunately, this wasn't it.
あれは転入生のほんと男にしとくのもったいないな
芦屋に目つけたってか終始外かたらしめ
Next is Hana-Kimi. For the plot of this one, Our main character Mizuki. Her sudden choice to move to Japan from the United States come as a shock. Her sole reason of transferring is to attend the same high school as her idol Sano, who stole her heart after she saw him compete in a high jumping competition. However, there's one problem. Sano attends an all-boys school. That doesn't stop Mizuki, as she is committed to getting closer to Sano by changing her appearance and demeanor. This anime is interesting to me because it reminds me of Oran Host Club, but I believe this predates it. They did modernize this anime with things such as smartphones because this manga finished in 04. It was a smart decision to modernize it, and it's a bit creepy to the start of their relationship, or friendship is how I should put it. She went across the country to go to a school for a guy that doesn't even high jump anymore. She arrives to the school, she's dorming with her idol, the relationship's off to a rocky start with misunderstandings and just all the characters around her being like, am I gay?
I'm straight. How did he turn me on? What the hell?
They are really laying on the comedic bit of characters questioning his sexuality because they're attracted to her but not knowing that this guy is actually a girl. This is a real late 90s to early 2000s anime, and you can really feel it even though it's a bit modernized. But I found some enjoyable moments in it. There's some nice and comedic moments to it, but I did end up dropping it.
のんきか
Next is Adventurer's Daily Grind at 29. For the plot of this one, our main character Hajime is an adventurer of Silver Range. He's dedicated to fulfilling missions from the guild, and one day completing a quest for monster meat, he finds a strange girl named Lily in a dungeon who's far more trouble than she's worth. Saving the girl from certain death, her story reminds him of a similar past and takes her under his care. We've seen this type of anime before, where our main character is taking care of a childlike character and showing them the ropes and eventually becoming a family. The stick for this one is that she's kinda a little girl. He soon finds out that she is a succubus, and at night she turns into a young woman. It does sound a little bit suspicious of where it's going, but Hajime treats her the same if she's a young girl or a young adult. So I'm glad they didn't go that path. This anime is average to below average across the board. From the plot, the animation, the designs. I dropped it after a couple episodes. It's not as bad as I think it is, but there just wasn't really much that wanted me to come back each week to watch it. Even though it did have some nice comedic bits. They did make a joke though of him eating a dog for survival. Even though it's up in the air, he definitely ate the dog. But Hajime thought fondly of it. We've seen this type of fantasy anime all the time, and this one continues to add to the average fantasy anime that we get every couple months.
諦めの悪いやつだな。このまま逃げてるだけじゃラッチが開かねえ。こいつを倒すしかないのか。ステータス。俺より HP が高い。普通にぶつかったら負ける。
Next is Reincarnated as a dragon hatchling. The plot is the title of the anime. Our main character is Isekai / reincarnated into a brand new world, but he's reborn as a helpless egg. Eventually the egg hatch, and his humble beginnings lead to something great. He's doing his best to become the strongest dragon ever. This is added to the Isekai reincarnation animes, where they're reincarnated into something that's not a human or a demon. We've seen swords, vending machines, I believe a hero's rib is coming up, and we get a dragon now. They do have like the game aspect of it, of a stat page, and he gets to choose his path of what type of dragon to become. He is slowly gaining his skills as a dragon, and he does have to deal with the heroes being scared of him because typically dragons are the enemy. It does take a while for him to get sympathy from an adventurer that he saved, and that happens towards the end of the season that I did skip around in because I wanted to see when do they meet. She is listed as the main character but is in half the episodes. Other than that, it's just your average isekai reincarnation trash that for me is not that memorable.
Probably working with all those filthy
that was really bad.
Last one is Smiley Friends. I know this is not an anime, but come on, look at this. They're dressed as anime characters, and they're going to an anime con. I know I'm late on the show. The show already has a massive following, but it was announced that it was ending with season 3. The show is absolutely unhinged, hilarious, and just some of these characters, I just love their designs. Alan and Gleb has to be my favorite, but the boss is one of the funniest characters, especially when he be changing his voices. It's a very quick watch, and it took me forever to start watching it, but I finished the series in like 2 or 3 days. It's a great show to have a laugh to, with just some absolutely crazy moments, and I just had to share my love for it.
I love Dragon Ball Z!
And those are all the animes I want to talk about for winter 2026. It's a great start to the year with some banger animes at the top end and a bunch of hidden gems throughout the season. This year is supposed to be absolutely crazy. A lot of these animes are being overshadowed by Frieren and JJK, but that doesn't take away from the quality of shows we are getting this season. The winter seasonal anime is almost over, and by the time I upload this, it might even be over. It's a great start to the year of anime, and we are definitely being spoiled this year. Let me know your opinions on winter anime 2026. What did you watch? What did you drop? Which animes I didn't talk about? And everything in between in the comments below. If you made it this far, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.